Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Light the Torch podcast. I'm your host, B. Jones, and I got my boys with me. I got my boy Guns to my right. Bottom right, we got Blackie Chan. Bottom left, we got my guy, Raul. And today we're going to be previewing what just happened this past weekend, man. We're going to try, we have no Trojans ball to talk about, but we'll talk about everybody else just because we can. So, with that being said, man, let's get this off, man. Let's get your reactions to this weekend's slate, man. How do you guys feel about this weekend, personally?
Yes, overall, it's kind of what I expected just from an outcome standpoint. When I was looking over the scores, I was surprised that Oregon State didn't score more. We saw that DJ had 2 interceptions, so that factored into it, I'd assume. But that just caught my eye. And then probably talk about the CSU game was a great game. As a college football fan, Horton and Kamara are dudes. And then I think we kind of already knew about this, but without Hunter, since he was out, CU still has, I think, a solid wide receiver group. 2 to 3, still good guys, obviously. So that kind of stood out more since he was out of there.
Right. So with that being said, we're going to give you our reactions to the Pac-12 slate, just the conference slate, on what we thought about the games in the conference. But yeah, like you said, man, CU, no real surprise there. I didn't think it would be that close, to be honest. But it was cool to learn that CSU's got some pros over there, man.
All right.
Yep. So we're gonna start with just give me a little bit about the CU and Colorado game. I know Gunnar, you already went into that a little bit, so we're gonna just start with Blackie Chan.
I expected more of a shootout, or at least more. Actually, it was a pretty high scoring game.
I was gonna say more of a shootout.
Yeah.
What can we ask for?
I honestly thought CU would kind of steamroll them. I thought there was a moment in time when they were just going to put on the afterburners and just start kind of torching them over the top, but that didn't happen. No, as a lot of teams have shown, it's quite easy to get to Shedeur. He's taken a lot of beatings. Like, he's not comfortable back there. More than 50% of the time, he's being pressured. So, but yeah, no, it was a great game overall. CSU, Muhammad Kamara is a beast, but he kind of made some costly mistakes for them towards the end, which could have sealed the deal for them. So that game was very undisciplined on both sides. Like, no one was caring about what was going on with the ref, like if the refs were watching what they were doing or not. Like, that one hits I think it was number 11 on Travis Hunter. There is no place in any, doesn't matter the rivalry, doesn't matter anything. Like, you should not be hitting that person that late. So I'm glad.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you something. Had Travis not gotten hurt, would you still feel the same way?
What?
Had Travis not gotten hurt on that play, would you still feel the same way about that?
Yeah, that was a dirty hit.
Like, that question was asked to me, so I just want to get your opinion.
If I was that coach, he'd be doing up downs all damn Monday, because you don't want to be. You're not teaching that. If they're teaching that, then that's bad. But you are not teaching your players to play like that.
Yeah, I doubt that coach sent a hit out on him. So yeah, he probably gonna have to answer for that one. Raul, what you got, man? What you think of that Colorado game?
I mean, I think I was telling you fellas before we went live that I thought ESPN got it right with game day being there. At first, I was like, what the hell are you doing there? So just the prime hype. But overall, I thought that was the best game throughout college football on Saturday night. Or Saturday, I mean. It was like Blackie Chan said the other podcast, it's a big rivalry, and you can see it. There was a lot of trash talking between the coaches. Prime said it was personal. With him saying that, I thought it was going to be a blowout, but they managed to escape with the W. So good for Coach Prime in Colorado. But I think Colorado State exposed him a little bit prior to facing the big guns coming up. I thought that Colorado State had two solid players. I think Kamaro's one, and I can't remember the wide receiver's name. I think it's Horton.
Yeah, Tim Horton.
Joey Horton.
Yeah, he was solid. He was catching everything pretty much. So he's probably going to be hitting the transfer portal next season, unless he's a senior. Or
I think he's a senior.
Is he?
Yeah.
Horton is, yeah, I believe so.
Got it. But yeah, I thought it's a great game. I think Colorado State blew it at the end. One of the biggest choke jobs in a while, I think. They were up like 11 with what is it, 7 minutes left? Which, good for Colorado and good for Shador. I think he stepped up. There was a lot of pressure, and he managed to pull through and make the right plays, make the right throws. It was interesting on the end that, he started off the drive by getting the first downs with his legs, and then kind of at the end, just ended up passing it to his tight end, which he came big a couple of times there. So good for them.
Yep. It's good stuff, man. Yeah, so obviously Coach Norvell knew what he had in store for CU. So that's why he's got the mouthing off a little bit. We didn't know, but he definitely knew what and he showed it, man. I was very shocked, very surprised and very impressed by CSU, man. I didn't expect them to have any pros on it, but Horton and Kamara, they were league bound, and they definitely had a showcase that day, and all the eyes were on them. They did on right stage.
Pretty good too.
I was just gonna get to that. So he actually outplayed Shador. If you looked at the numbers,
did he really?
Yeah, his numbers. He was 34 to 47, 367 yards. Shador was 38 for 47, 348. So slight edge to him, but that guy's only a redshirt freshman. So who knows? I'm sure he'll probably be getting poached by some schools, maybe Bama. They can definitely use him, but yeah, man. I was very impressed by that dude, man. I think if Coach Norvell can keep the big schools off out of his playground, man, he can build something over there. I think CSU they got a lot of potential over there, man, to really be something. So it's be interested to see how that goes. But who knows, man? With the portal in these days, I'm sure those kids will be getting poached left and right.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, that was the most crossing routes I've ever seen in a game.
Oh man, they got exposed over the middle, didn't they? I mean,
with those shallow crossing routes, yeah.
Hey, so imagine that with our athletes. But yeah, we'll see that soon.
Yeah. Honestly, that's kind of what I predicted we would do to them, to be honest. I mean, that's kind of normally, in a sense, what we do, all these various things. But, normally we're doing these crossings, and whatnot. So
exactly.
Going lateral. So, yeah, it's good game plan.
Yep. So that's going to be our CU coverage for the day. I'm sure if you want more, it's not hard to find, like Dion. It's all over your face. Just pick up your phone and open it, man. After you punch in your code, you'll see all CU. Yeah. So that being said, we'll move on to U of A and UTEP. Yeah, not much to work there. I mean, of course, that game wasn't nearly as exciting. But Guns, you got anything as far as U of A and UTEP?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's UTEP. I didn't watch this game, but just looking at the stats, I mean, Delora looked like, he looked good. 23 for 29, 285, 9.8 in average, no interceptions, 3 tutties. Overall, they ran the ball pretty well. So just kind of looking at the stats, I'm a little surprised maybe they didn't score a little bit more. Maybe more, clock ran out and all that type of stuff. So that could be the case. But, yeah. Delora looked good according to the stats. So,
correct. What about you, Black?
It's UTEP, so it's not too much. You can't really put too much stock into that. But Jalen Delora did his thing. He he didn't have 3 turnovers this time, so good for him. T-Mac had an amazing one-handed catch, like behind his shoulder. That was really nice, and into double coverage, so it was good. Just a good game for them. Not too impressed, but not unimpressed either.
Roll.
I'm just gonna say I'm happy for them. They got their stats up because when they play us, it's gonna be a different story. So good for them. They got the W, and can't wait to see them. What is it, in 2 weeks? So, I think we get Arizona State next week. 3 weeks? Oh yeah, 3 weeks.
Arizona State, Colorado, and then I think Arizona.
All right, so my fault, but good for them. I mean, I think it's gonna be a tough game versus us. So keep on padding your stats these next couple games.
Yeah, get your confidence up because when we come through, man, that's all going to go out the window for y'all. Sorry. I have to be honest, man. U of A does not look the same. I know they lost Singer. I know they lost Bars, and Christian Roland Wallace.
Those are some big names.
Yeah, I mean, it was the top 3 guys. I thought they'd still be okay. They got Justin Flo in the portal, and this guy's not even starting. And then, and then they got T-Mac is still there. He had a big catch, but as far as the offense, they don't.
I'll start jumping. I thought they got some decent D tackle transfers too. Like I think I got one from Georgia. He came from Georgia. One from I think Indiana, which we were kind of potentially looking at. But they're not looking like on paper.
Yeah. CO was a guy that we were looking at for a little bit, but the coach staff said we're after bigger fish, and then comes bear. So can't complain about that. But man, they just don't look the same. They don't look as fluid as at least as right now. It's still early in the season. I'm sure they'll get better, but the offense is not looking the same as it did last year. But obviously they played UTEP, so it didn't matter. But going down the road, they better figure out some stuff quick because I definitely expected them to hang in the 50s. Get somewhere close to the 50s this game, but that didn't happen. So, all right, so we'll move on. Fresno State and ASU. Go ahead, Gunner.
ASU is just bad. I mean, obviously they got 6 or 7 dudes out on the O-line. They're on their 3rd string quarterback, I think. I guess I'm not shocked to see that they didn't score any points. But the cool thing was the Fresno State quarterback, he's an Arizona boy. So that was cool to see that he kind of came home and, did his thing a little bit. So.
Yeah. Yep, that was cool. Other than that, Black and Change, what you
got? I did not see it going like that. What happened to what's that quarterback?
Rashada?
Yeah, Jalen Rashada. Is he out for how long?
Yeah, so they said 4 weeks after the game, but basically Kenny Dillingham's like Lincoln Riley. He didn't say any, no one knew about this. Media didn't know about. Well, I guess actually they did know about this. Excuse me, but they were told not to report it.
So he got hurt in the.
And if you were to report it, you would be
suspended from interviews or whatever.
Whatever, yeah, exactly.
So did he get hurt in the game before this?
I'm assuming so. I guess it's something that he kind of had in high school, according to Dillingham. So he kind of re-aggravated it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
that's something to keep your eye on.
All right.
This is going to be another. It's just they are bad.
Yeah, we'll say something for the preview, man. Yeah. Black and Chin, Raul, what you got?
I was just gonna say it was disappointing to see. I thought they would have put a better fight, but my theory is that maybe they're trying to save whatever they have under their sleeve for our game, but it's not gonna do anything. It's still gonna be a blowout next week.
I think they're pretty sleeveless, man. I don't even think they got sleeves over there.
I'm just trying to make it fun, guys. I'm trying to try to start something here, but it was bad.
O-line's decimated, quarterback decimated, man. In fact, a direct quote from I don't know if you guys saw this in the community, in the BR community. Arizona State guy came into our community and said, "Can you guys please have Mercy at 50 points and save the rest of the punishment for Colorado. Sincerely, Sun Devil Nation. Hey, man, listen. We're not Oregon. We're not just going to run up the score on you guys just because, to a team that shouldn't even be on the field with us. Yeah, we know we're not going to get any extra points for that. So, we'll treat you guys just like we did Stanford, Put it away in the first half and let the backups mop you up, man. So that's the only mercy we can get now. You got to stop the backups. We can't do nothing about that.
Yeah, that is true.
But, yeah, I expect Miller. Well, we'll get into that later on in the week, man. Thursday, make sure you guys tune in. We'll get into that. Yeah.
Really quick here,
before
we move on, Frankie Rodriguez said, "Good evening, gents. Fight on. Thoughts on the new polls? Texas moves up. Shake my head. Bama finally out of the top 10. Yep, finally.
Yep. All right, Frankie.
Stay tuned, Frankie.
Stay tuned. We're gonna get to that. We're absolutely gonna get to that. I'm chomping at the bit, ready to get at that, especially that last part. So,
and also really quick, Tyler, we are going to talk about other teams outside of USC about who we thought was the most impressive. So we'll get to that soon.
Yep. So you guys make sure you stay tuned. We'll get to that for sure. All right. So our next one, we got Hawaii and Oregon. No real surprises there. Gonna go ahead and take it away, man. What you got?
Yeah, no surprises. I guess kind of the cool thing is I think I saw that Oregon kind of supported Maui, with the fires. I think they had like some on their helmets. So, I thought that was kind of cool to support it. But, yeah, nothing else to really add on,
Yeah. Black and Chin.
Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't try to run up the score like they did last time because they really probably could have. But, yeah, no surprise. Oregon was treating this game like how we've been treating the past 3 games. So,
yep. Bro.
Nah, they took the W. That's all I got.
Yes, Oregon won. 55.
We can move on next.
Next. So we got this one is just like mind-boggling, man. Sac State and Stanford. What is going on at Stanford, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I know the backup played, I believe. Let me confirm this.
Yeah, Lamson played.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, he played. Oh, actually, Daniels actually kind of threw for 7 times, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like the other guy played most of the time. I mean, they didn't look good against us. Thought Taylor would be able to still kind of get over his former team. He would know the roster, right? So, but yeah, they did not look good. That was a very surprising and shocking loss, in my opinion.
Yeah, 30-23, just for context, because I didn't mention the score. But yeah, go ahead, Black Chan.
I really don't know if Troy Taylor is going to last long if he keeps putting up like this, because I don't know if the recruits that he's recruiting right now are going to want to play at this point for him. But this is it's looking like it's getting out of hand for Stanford. It looks like they're worse than they were last year. Well, and I didn't even think that was possible.
It's year one, so I would
go that far. It is year one.
It's year one.
But he lost to his former team.
Yeah, that's well.
So
yeah, I mean, if anybody's going to know how to play against him, it would be his former team, though, right?
Yeah, but you schedule that game knowing you're going to beat them. This was supposed to be a paycheck for Sacramento State, and they came in and won.
Oh yeah, they took the money away.
They had something to prove too. So they were saying they were proving it to their head coach that he should not have left and should have stayed back. But I don't know. Troy Taylor, I hope he gets things going for when they move to the ACC, because they're going to need it, because they score points over in the ACC. So should be interesting. David Bailey, it's never too late.
Bro, if they keep playing like this, maybe we can just schedule them every year. It'll be our out of conference game and keep the tradition going. Just keep slapping them every first half and just have the second string join the second half. But But on a serious note, even David Bailey didn't really do much. I was looking at the stats. He only had a tackle, I think, and or 2 tackles, and that's about it. Like you said, it's never too late. You can join us next year, David Bailey. You can come home, whether you're first string or second string. I think we can definitely use your services. So,
I hope you're graduating soon.
yeah,
Shit, man, go ahead and get that Stanford degree, then come get a USC degree, man. That's
Hey,
baller right there. You
some
set.
good degrees right there.
Yeah, you're set.
that's a good flex.
So with Stanford, man, I just don't think their administration cares about football at all. I mean, it's kind of obvious, you know, which is crazy because they have the most money in the conference.
Do they really?
Yeah, Stanford's loaded.
They probably have the most money
Yeah, probably all
across
of
college football.
At least top 5. They got to be top 5 for sure. As far as athletic, you know, they just don't care. You know what I mean? But so if they wanted to, you know, that's what I just want to see how much money they're going to put behind Troy Taylor and let him do his thing. You know, before I make that decision, you know, make that judgment as far as him being on the hot seat or not. Especially, you know, after year 1, jumping the gun a little bit. but yeah,
What
I
are
mean,
the requirements to get into Stanford, at least in the academically? I know it's tough.
I didn't even try. So,
Yeah.
so I'll tell you that.
Let's see. I'll look it up here in a second.
All right. But yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that's impacting them with their recruiting. But I mean,
oh yeah, that's always been an issue for Stanford. You know,
I mean, there's smart kids out there, so that can play ball. But I mean, they just got to make a better impact. I mean, add a better effort in terms of, you know, caring for the football program, like you mentioned.
right.
Which I think it's the right step, hiring a new coach, right? So hopefully they can turn it around.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously they want to do something. You know, because they went as far as to fire David Shaw and get some fresh blood in there with a whole new offense, a whole new look. So they're obviously looking to do something. So we'll see if they put some money behind him and
Is there any recruits that we can poach this year, or not this year, but like we can flip that they have?
I have not taken a look at Stanford's recruiting class. I don't know who that.
Yeah, we're actually might be talking to one of the recruits this year.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's like a D lineman edge from Connecticut.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
We'll see, but
I think you did report that last episode, was it?
we found it over the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll see.
It looks like just a 3.5 or higher for football, at least for football players.
Just 3.5, like
sure.
it, Chan? Just the 3.5.
Yeah.
Hey, and about like 1,100 SATs score. So
that's not bad, but it's definitely on the higher end of
yeah.
You know, for football for sure.
Yeah,
yeah, for football schools.
Yeah, we all know Alabama. You can.
So man, come on, man.
I ain't gonna say anything about Alabama. I ain't gonna go there right now.
Yeah. Let's see. What about Georgia? Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Let's move on. Washington versus Michigan State. Guys.
Yeah, I mean they came out, you know, full throttle from the jump. This kind of goes into, you know, what I learned about Pac-12, but I mean they're better than I thought. You know, going into the season, I thought they were gonna not be the team with the O-line and the defense. But yeah, their offense, Penix is looking great. So yeah, it's definitely a team to watch.
Right. Like you, Shane?
Yeah, I think they are just right behind us when it comes to like top teams right now. Like Alabama does not want to play them. LSU doesn't want to play them. Like Penix is on a close to the same level as Caleb Williams. I still put Caleb Williams over him because Penix does sometimes throw picks, like unnecessary picks. So, but that dude's going to be a first-round draft pick, and like he was a big steal from He came from Indiana, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Dang, Indiana must be
Indiana.
kicking themselves for letting him go.
I mean, wasn't much they can do about it.
Yeah, 'cause I wonder how he would have done at Indiana, but like that, Penix is. I can't say enough about that dude. He's a baller.
Yep.
And I was surprised that Michigan State didn't put up more of a fight. Before we get to roll, shout out to the 8 people that are watching our stream right now. So shout outs, like and subscribe, guys.
Yes. Please make sure you hit
Yeah,
the like button
appreciate it,
while you're
fellas.
here. While it's fresh on your mind, while we just brought it up, go ahead and hit it. All right. Raul, go ahead.
Feel free to leave the comments, fellas, too. Whoever's watching, you can join us in the chat. But yeah, it was 41-7. It was obviously with controversy going on in Michigan State. That could have potentially impacted the team in the outcome of this game. But I mean, Washington definitely looks like a great team. Like Blackie Chan said, I think they're one of the top teams across college football. I think that they're going to probably be our biggest threat to get into the championship game or college football playoffs, other than potentially when we face Oregon at Eugene. But no, they look great, honestly. So luckily we have them at home. I think that's a big plus, and we'll see what happens throughout the season. But they definitely look great.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Washington did exactly what I thought. That outcome of that game went exactly how I thought. Actually, I don't know if I thought they would have won by that large of a margin, but yeah, I didn't expect Michigan State to be much of everything they got going on. But Washington, man, like you guys said, they're right there with us as far as that offense, man, is explosive, just like ours, man. So yeah, I think if I had to start a poll right now, I would go us and Washington 1 and 2.
Yeah,
for sure. I don't see anyone that I've seen the past 3 weeks that can hang with either one of our offenses.
yeah. Tyler seems to think that Washington's 1B in our conference as well. So
yeah,
and
we
got
an argument.
We got a chat. We got Borton in the chat right now.
Oh,
he says, "Hey boys, it's Borton. I saw a stupid debate on Instagram post about Colorado and SC where a Colorado fan claimed our wide receiver core wasn't that great because he didn't have any first-round receivers." I can't say that without laughing.
Look at my face. What? Where's the Russell Westbrook when I need it, man? This is why we need the soundboard up. So what? Yeah, man. What? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't even know how that's true either.
Yeah, stop it, man.
Addison last year, Pittman. I mean, well, not Pittman, but
honestly, our like what is it called? Zachariah Branch would probably be a number 1 receiver on their team.
Man, give me somebody from the bottom of our
Deuce Robinson
would definitely be a number 1 over there.
Mario Williams
would be a number 1 over there.
Michael Jackson.
Raleek would have never redshirted over there.
No.
But Gary Bryant would still be there.
Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, come on, stop.
Kyle Ford would still be there.
Thank you.
Their number 1 receiver from last year left them.
That's what I'm saying. But those are all guys that would start anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
So you can't even make that comparison to SC. Listen, man, we're so good that we don't even know who's our number 1.
No. Like
you know what I mean? And name another school in the country that can say that. Maybe Texas. You know what I mean? But other than that,
who's the number 1 receiver for Washington?
They have
Ohio State tries to make, man. Where's USCJ at, man?
Yeah, they got 2.
We need you on the case.
They
Jay.
got really 2 good wide receivers. I think Washington does.
Yeah, but what did you say? They have 2 really good wide receivers, right?
So Tyler says CJ Williams would be a number 1 right now.
Exactly. Tyler
trying to start CJ Williams. Yeah,
Tyler trying to start something, man. No, but listen, man. Ohio State fans have made this argument too, right? And I told them, list your room. We have Marvin Harrison Jr. We have Chris Olave. I'm like, what? I mean, that was last year, but I'm saying, like, they'll name 2 or 3 guys, and then like, yeah, see, our room is better. I'm like, you named 3 people.
Okay, let,
You know what I mean?
I
USC.
personally think Pac-12 has like the best wide receiver group on,
Yeah,
including
easily.
QBs. I mean, Washington's up there. Oregon has a pretty solid set of wide receivers as well.
Arizona, T-Mac.
Yeah,
And see, and
Like,
that's another thing.
which
see,
is
Even if you did have the best wide receiver room, you definitely don't have the best quarterback.
nope.
So,
Yeah.
so it don't even matter. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, as
I
far
bet,
as
I bet
Colorado
Marvin
goes,
Harrison told them that he needs to have over 100 yards this game or he's done.
probably he's probably gonna pack it up, man. Sit down and get ready for the draft. You know, so yeah, man. I don't know, man. These dudes be tripping, man. I don't know how you even try to fix your mouth to make that comparison to
But Kai
Colorado.
Lemon would be a number one receiver right now.
Absolutely, Prime would love to have Makai.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, man, come on, we got dudes that you haven't even seen yet.
Jacoby
So-
Lane.
Thank you. So, moving on from that ridiculousness, Washington State, man. Who's they play?
they played Northern
Northern Colorado, NOCO.
Northern
Yeah,
Colorado.
they're from the northern region of Colorado. That's what we know.
They could probably hang with CU.
You know what? Being that they scored 21 points on Washington State, man, they probably could. You know, they'll make it a game. I'm sure they would love to play that game. So go ahead, Gunner. You got any thoughts on NOCO, as they're called? Did you know that? I'm sure Blackie Chan knew that. But the rest of us didn't know. NOCO versus Washington State.
Yeah, I mean, they put up 64. I mean, they put them away early, pretty much. Ward, 327, 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, it's, what you expect facing a team like NOCO. So yeah.
You just can't say it without laughing, right? NOCO.
Yeah, Cam Ward, I think he could be better than Shador. Like Cam Ward he's putting on a clinic.
Whoa.
Clip that.
Yeah,
No, but Cam Ward.
I'm in agreement with that. I'll join you there, Blackie
Yeah.
Chan.
He had 327 yards, 2 for 26, 4 touchdowns. He's doing his best Caleb Williams impression. Like he's good. Like last year, he kind of had a turnover issue, but he's been keeping it. Keeping it pretty clean lately. So hey, like Washington State is a sleeper in the Pac-12, or they're trying to make a statement on their last year that they should be a part of another conference because Oregon State and Washington State are looking good. So, but not surprised that they put up 60 on Northern Colorado, NOCO, Cowtown, as we call it. But hey, I'm impressed with Washington State, Wazoo. And wait, and who's we haven't even mentioned how Wazoo always has a flag at every game day. Like every game day.
Somehow there's Oregon fans.
They did a story
at
behind it
CU
one year.
Did they do a story behind
Yeah.
it? Like, you just see a big Wazoo flag every game day. I was like,
Are they paying these guys? Man, they're paying for the travel expenses.
They were telling about the story about how they almost missed it. Like from what I remember, it was like
really?
Yeah, because there's like the alumni group. They were like, oh, somebody's gonna not be there, so one dude had to like rush there, and yeah, it was pretty interesting little story. Yeah.
Raul, you got anything?
No, other than that, like the fact that they showed up, represent the Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 is the best conference this year,
easily.
So it just the Pac-12 is representing, and it's funny that it's the last year of the Pac-12. So, yeah, I mean that's all I got for this one. Good for them, and I think like you said, Wasu's probably going to be a surprising team. I think they play Oregon this year, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep, they are for sure like the trap game team, man, for sure.
Yeah,
they're gonna clip somebody. They're gonna clip somebody. That's for sure.
they
And
play Oregon State next this week.
Yeah.
that's a possibility, man.
That's
Oregon State is good, but
game.
that should be a pretty good game, man.
Is it
Can't
going to
wait
be
to
in
I'll
Pullman?
definitely be catching that one. Yeah, who's the home team?
It's at Oregon State.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, both of those places are like, yeah, they give us both nightmares, man. As USC fans. But yeah, I mean, as far as the game, man, that was expected. No surprise there, at least on our end. The rest of the world probably thought that was a fair matchup because they still sleep on Washington State. But as far as Cam Ward being as good as Shador, man,
Yeah.
I don't know. To be
I don't
determined
know
on
about
that one. And the only reason I say that is because, that pressure, man, he doesn't handle the pressure the same way. Based on what we've seen from last year, he gets a little more rattled than Shador. I would say, when he's facing pressure. But aside from that, man, yeah, he's a guy, and he's going to show the world. So, with that being said, who we got left? We got Cal and Idaho. Guns.
I mean, yeah, it's. I'm just glad they beat Idaho. It looked like they were down 10-0 after the first quarter, so I'm glad they woke up and got it together and represented the Pac-12. So yeah.
Right. Blake Chan.
Yeah, I saw that too, that they were down like, oh, this is going to be ugly for them. But no, they pulled it together. They scored, 20, 28 in the next two quarters. So, yeah, they put them away as they should against Idaho. So, but yeah, nothing much really to say about them. They're bottom of the pack of the Pac-12. So,
Yep. Row.
Before I get to that, I think Tyler mentioned something about if the Pac-12 had this year 3 years ago, with the Pac-12 this off because of Larry Scott.
yeah.
You
I still think
so?
it would have. They weren't paying us. Like, sure, we're looking good, but we're not getting the money that we deserve. We're not getting the eyes because the Pac-12 network is so garbage.
Yeah, we were still getting treated the same way. You know what I mean? So I think we still would have been going regardless.
Yeah.
If
they would have done better with the Pac-12 network, this would not have been an issue.
Yeah, they would have had a better argument as far as negotiating for that contract. So the rest of the pack probably would have been cool. But I think as far as we go, yeah, we would have been out of there because we were definitely mistreated. And they treated us like as if we weren't the breadwinners of the whole conference.
Yep.
They tried to give Oregon that title, and you see how much they won, right? It's how much they represented for the conference.
What is it?
Yeah, exactly.
0?
Exactly.
That's what it represents, right? That 0.
Exactly.
0 championships.
But going to the Cal game, I didn't see it. I don't really know much about Cal, but I am surprised. I was looking at the stats. I don't see the running back. Did he get injured? Is it Ott or Jaden Ott, or I think that's his name? I know they had a pretty solid running back. Unless I'm confusing teams, but
yeah, I see no stats for Ott, so maybe he did get injured here.
They did have a running back that went over 130 yards rushing.
Yeah.
They went off regardless rushing, but I'm just surprised. I'm assuming he probably is injured then, unless he's planning to join the transfer portal soon.
Who knows, man?
But I mean, like Gunnar mentioned, good thing they ended up managed to pull through and represent the Pac-12.
Right. Yeah, I was a little surprised to see them down to Idaho, but they pulled that out, man. Cal is another one of those teams, man. You put them in another conference and they would go kick butt. Like if you put them in the Big 12, they'll probably be one of the top half of the Big 12. You put them in the ACC, they're in the top half of the ACC. You know what I mean? But we're so stacked. The Pac-12 is so stacked. They're in a lower tier school who's still popping people. You know what I mean? So the pack is just that deep this year, man. Like our lower tier teams are looking pretty good. I mean, they didn't get it done last week, but they still look, a lot better than people expected. we expected them to be pretty down, but they're still like good to be on the down slope. You know what I mean? Or the conference slope. But yeah. So another team we get into is Oregon State and San Diego State. Guns, what you got on that?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm surprised they didn't score more. DJ had 2 interceptions, so obviously that had a factor to that. So yeah, that's maybe the overlooking for next week because we were talking about they're facing Wazoo, so that'll be a good matchup. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to look like.
All right.
DJ had under 50% passing, so which is different. Definitely a big change from last week. But other than that, Oregon State did what they needed to do. I'm surprised DJ did throw those 2 interceptions. They got the running game going pretty good. Not really much to say. San Diego State's not what I was expecting coming out of the Mountain West. So, but yeah, no, I think the game day can go to that game, but obviously they're probably not going to because it's Wazoo and Oregon State. So, yeah, no, not much to say about them.
Yeah, they're going to Notre Dame.
Are they going to? Oh yeah, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Ohio State. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Go ahead, Ro.
I was just gonna say I'm surprised they didn't really put up much points. I guess part of it is maybe DJ's probably not the greatest QB out there. Like we not try to be throw shots out here or anything like that, but I mean, just going off of previous experience, right? He's had his struggles in the past where he has a solid game and then he kind of goes back to looking like an average quarterback. So until he kind of gets multiple good games, people are probably going to start changing their narrative then. But until now, I mean, he's still got a lot to prove. The defense of Oregon State is what's carrying the team, in my opinion. So if they get 4, I think that's going to be the reason why.
Yep. So speaking of that defense, man, they shut down the running game pretty good. They only allowed under 100. So we had Jay Armstead ran for 48, and Keenan Kristen, former Trojan, only had 14 yards. Man, we know he's a speedster, so not surprised. Oregon State is known for their defense. They usually put together a pretty good defense over there. But the secondary did give up 250. So, but yeah, it looks like they didn't get too much out of DJ. I mean, threw for 250 plus, over 250, but it wasn't the prettiest. So, like you said, Raul, I think his inconsistency. That's been his rap sheet. And I think it's showed his head a little bit this year. I mean, already as of right now. But we'll see how he bounces back this game. I mean, I'm sorry, this upcoming week. See if he can bounce back, man, and prove us wrong. Maybe it was just a one-off. Maybe it's just a bad game, just like Caleb had a bad game last year against Oregon State. So we'll see. But let's see. In our final, we got Utah and Weber State. What you guys think about that, man?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're facing, Weber State. I don't know how you really say it, but it's all good. But yeah, I mean, Cam Rising didn't play again, so I would assume even if I would assume they just, sat him just because it's, the team that they're playing. But, maybe he's still just not there. That'll be intriguing to see because, again, next week we go into conference play. And I think they play UCLA next week. So, hopefully he shows up. But, yeah, I mean, they won, represented Pac-12, so can't complain.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put up more on Weber State, whatever you want to call them. But their backup quarterback is now looking. He's doing enough not to lose the games for them. He's doing it they're just kind of coasting through him. They're not really pushing the ball really with him. So I wonder if Cam Rising's going to show up next week. Because if they don't, UCLA is probably going to win that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did what they needed to do. Was not surprised. So I'm surprised Weber State actually put up a touchdown on them.
Yep. Go ahead, Blackie. I'm sorry, Raul.
No, I mean, it's Utah. I think we know who they are as of now. They're going to be a defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like offensively they're not the greatest. I mean, they only put up 31 points versus. You guys pick your poison, Weber or Weber State. And like it is kind of concerning for Utah fans or Utah that Rising still hasn't even played as a backup role or just kind of get back into the rhythm of the game. I think that injury is probably gonna, it's gonna impact him throughout the season if he does come back because he needs that repetition and practice on like in-game practice rather than just practice. So I think that Utah is probably gonna end up spiraling down after they play the better teams in the Pac-12.
Exactly, and that starts next week for them. I mean, UCLA, you call it what you want to, but UCLA is a pretty formidable team, and I think they're going to give them fits. We'll get more into that later on in the week, but yeah, man, we don't know. Like you said, Raul, we don't know what Rising they're going to get back anyway. And then he still has to play his way back into shape. And it's when you suffer an injury like that, there's two sides. There's the physical aspect and then the mental aspect. Is he going to be thinking about that knee every time anybody gets close to him? So we don't know what we're going to get out of Cam Rising. So who knows, man? They might be better off just trying to move on without him. So that was something to keep an eye out on and see how that progresses throughout the season.
How did their tight end do? I'm trying to see their stats.
I'm not sure if he's back. Is he back?
Is it McLean?
No, he's not back.
Yeah, he's not even back yet. So they're down at third tight end as well. But yeah, they held Weber State, man. They almost had as much running yards as they did passing yards. Weber State did. So I don't know take that for what it is. I don't know what you get out of that, but that's pretty interesting. But yeah, that's going to wrap up our Pac-12 slate. So we're going to move on to the second quarter as you guys hit that like button and that share button and that subscribe button.
I think did we go over UCLA?
Oh no, we didn't.
We did? We skipped over UCLA?
UCLA and North Carolina Central.
No, we didn't.
Oh,
We really
right.
did, yeah.
Who cares about that?
It's UCLA, right? I mean,
They won.
They won.
Hey, it's about as many
like
people
DC.
on this live right now than it was at the game anyway. So,
right.
so nobody even saw this blowout anyway. So, now go ahead, guys. You got anything on this game?
I mean, it's good to see that they're still playing Dante, it looks like. I mean, another 2 touchdowns. I mean, good to see them representing Pac-12. They put a 35 spot, and this is kind of what you should expect playing these types of teams. So, looks like they're rolling pretty good right now going into the Utah game.
Yep.
Yeah, like their freshman quarterback is looking good. He's pushing the ball downfield. He didn't really have to do too much in that game, so they kind of pulled him a little early. And Carson Steele is looking like a good running back coming from them. I forgot where he transferred from, but he was a good steal out of the transfer portal. So they're also another sneaky pick like Washington State to have a good season. So do they play CU this year? Because that's going to be an interesting game. Like, let's see.
I think they do.
When does CU
Steele
play?
came from Ball State, by the way.
Ball State? Okay. They play CU end of October. So
That's what
at CU. So
That's
they have CU scheduled all the
top programs, man.
So they always schedule us in the wintertime for them.
That's true. Thinking that's going to be an advantage.
Yeah.
And we got another comment before we move on.
What was it? All-time great. Yeah, hey, you know what? Y'all can say what y'all want about about old Raylan, man, but that hit was pretty legendary.
It was.
Yeah, he gave him all he wanted. Hey, but he bounced right back up, man. I was actually surprised. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Cam's pretty tough, man. He's a tough kid.
Where is
Yeah,
Raylan at? He's at Washington State.
He's at Washington.
Washington.
Or
Yeah.
Washington.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be trying to do that to one of us.
Oh yeah, you know he's gonna try
No,
to
he's going
get
out
some revenge, man. Maybe. It's gonna be a little hard to catch Caleb than Rising though.
Is he even starting for Washington State or Washington?
Last I saw, like going into the season, he was like second string, but
Okay.
so maybe rotation.
Yeah,
He didn't have any tackles.
Last game.
Nope.
Oh wow, maybe he's hurt. Hopefully then.
Who knows? I was a little disappointed to see Kyle Ford only had a catch. Yeah, only a catch. But who knows what's going on with that? I mean, hopefully he's all right. No suffer any more injuries, man. He's had his fill. He's had enough injuries for a lifetime, man. I think the football guys can cut him some slack. But yeah, that's gonna end our Pac-12 slate, man. So we're gonna move in to the second quarter, man. What did we learn about the Pac? What you got, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned this when we talked about Washington. I mean, they're better than I thought. They're essentially the 1B, kind of like what Tyler said in the comments, to win the whole thing. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. I'm hopefully going to try to sneak out there and try to catch that game live in Collie. We'll see, but and then the other thing was really, I mean, it's going to be a battle for last place for between Stanford, Cal, and ASU. That's going to be a great, it's going to be a great thing to watch. To see who comes in last place between those three, because man, between those three teams, it does not look good. So I feel like that's what I've learned so far these 3 weeks, that Washington's really good and those three teams are really bad.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, honestly, we are the best conference. I firmly believe that. SEC's on the downfall. We'll get more into about the other conferences later, but like the bottom of the barrel teams, Stanford and Cal and ASU, and I guess you can put Arizona in there because they're not ranked, but Arizona could be ranked maybe towards the middle of the year. Who knows? But like we are stacked. Like it's insane that it did have to be the last year of the Pac-12 that we have all these good teams going on right now. Like this is, I guess we're going out with a bang right now. So I bet what's his name, George Kliavkoff, is kicking himself for not getting a better deal sooner. But yeah, no.
I don't want to get into that, man. Ro.
Yeah, like you guys are mentioning, the Washington is the real deal. I think, like I mentioned earlier, they're probably going to be our biggest threat, other than Oregon. Oregon, still to be determined on who they are this year. I think they're going to be a tough matchup as well, but we have really solid teams. USC's at number 5 in the 8 people. Washington's at number 8. Oregon in the top 10 at number 10. Then we got Utah at 11. Oregon State at 14. Colorado at number 19. Washington State at 21 and UCLA at 22. But somehow USC has a weak schedule, guys.
Yeah, according to Stephen A. Smith, who's the college football expert.
Yeah, the best college football analyst ever.
Right.
Yeah, so, and then other than that we're probably the best conference out there. I think that we have the best QB play, and then the best wide receiver play from across all conferences, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah,
So, like I said, man, the only takeaway is our bottom half of the pack is still better than better than a couple of other conferences. Bottom half, you know what I mean? We're clearly the best conference in football at this point. You know what I mean? And it's sad that, like you said, it's the last year of the pack. But I think we got to go out. The team that's won the most Pac-12 championships has to be the one to win it in this last. So we got to make sure we're going to handle business. Washington is definitely right up there with us, man. I'm hoping that that's what we see in the championship game. It'd be good for the game, and to be honest, man, we shouldn't get the loser of that game. I'm not gonna say we. The loser of that game shouldn't even be punished much, man. So because we're just. If you ask me, man, we're just that much further ahead than what I've seen, at least in the eye test, man. The SEC is down bad, and the other conferences weren't even up. So the ACC is maybe two teams. We'll get there. We'll rank conferences in a minute, but matter of fact, yeah, let's just jump into we got third quarter, man. So third quarter, man. Let's rank the Power 5 conferences, man. I'll let you go ahead and shoot gun.
Yeah, so number one, I do have Pac-12. Shocker. Number two, I have SEC. Number three, I have Big Ten. Number four, ACC. And then number five, Big 12.
Yep.
I gotta ask, why SEC ahead of the Big 12? Big 10.
Yeah, so far I don't think that the top teams, even in Big Ten, can beat the top teams in the SEC so far these 3 weeks that I've seen. No offense, Michigan can't even cover against UNLV and all these other teams.
Yeah.
So.
What you got, Lucky Chan?
I have the Pac-12, Big Ten, SEC. I'm flipping and flopping on the ACC and the Big 12, but I'll probably put the Big 12 ahead of them, and then the ACC after that. And I just think that the SEC is just overrated at this point. Tennessee got exposed by Florida when Florida lost to a second-rate Utah right now that's not even at full strength, and then Florida is going to beat Tennessee, who was the 11th best team in the nation. So I just can't see it. Like Alabama, they can't block to save their quarterback's life. Who's there really? Like Georgia, and who else?
That's
like really like Penn State, Ohio
LSU.
State, and what is it called? OSU. They're still great teams, and I think Penn State can beat Bama. I think Penn State can beat Tennessee. I think Penn State can put up a good fight against Georgia. Georgia, if they can pressure Carson Beck, it's done. So I just think that the Big Ten is far superior actually than the SEC. They just kind of choke when they play the SEC.
Bro, what you got?
Pretty much, kind of what I have to agree with Blackie on this one. Blackie Chan, I got the Pac-12 number one, Big Ten number two, then I have the SEC number three. Just you still got to show them some respect with the top teams. And then number four, I got the Big 12, and then five, the ACC. Like Chan mentioned, I still think Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State could definitely put up a really strong effort with all those teams, including some of the Pac-12 teams. So that's my ranking. Whoever's in the chat, put your comment. What do you guys think?
Absolutely, man. Guys, give me your conference rankings down in the chat, man. For myself, I'm going to say, of course, obviously, Pac is on top. Number two is very debatable, Big Ten and SEC, as you guys can see. But I will give it slight edge to the SEC for top. Only reason why, because like Gunnar mentioned, man, they seem when they play each other, it checks out. You know what I mean? As far as the SEC, when they play each other, but I do think they can hang with them for sure and make an argument head for head. But for whatever reason, man, Big Ten teams have not been able to crack these SEC teams for whatever reason. Don't know why, but yeah. Big 12, ACC, man, are both 2-team conferences, man. If Big 12 has Texas and Oklahoma, who's going to be going to the SEC next year, and then ACC is what right now, Miami and
FSU.
FSU, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so if we take those two and put them in a four-game conference tournament, I mean, cross conference tournament, who you guys think will win that? So if you put Miami and FSU versus Texas and Oklahoma,
FSU. I don't know.
That's a tough one, right?
Taking ACC, I feel like I still need to see more from Oklahoma.
Right.
Dylan Gabriel has been looking actually pretty good lately.
No, they're definitely their offenses has looked good.
Yeah, it's a lot better, man. They've improved.
Right.
I don't know.
It's kind of how they were though last year before the Texas game.
Yeah, until they kind of like just spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
So those two conferences right now for me are like pretty much neck and neck. But I get a slight edge to the Big 12 right now. Just because Texas looked, that much good in week 1. Or did they really? We still don't even really know, to be honest, because that Bama team is just trash. So I don't know, man. That's tough, man. None of those top teams over there really impressed me too much because FSU didn't even look that great last week. So
yeah.
Frankie says that no one will believe in the Pac-12 until we put it down in the bowl season in the final year. That is true.
Yeah, that's true, man. And
we got to go out as the best conference for our last year. We have to.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's looking very promising, man.
Yeah.
We look at these other teams play and we look at these Pac-12 games. It's like there's a stark difference, man.
I don't want to Tiafa or Tifaf. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name here, but yeah, it is crazy how no one's talking about Clemson at this point. Like they are an afterthought.
Listen, man, I'm going to use the words of USCJ. Dabo is lost in the sauce. It is, man. I mean, it's
not even good sauce.
He's lost in peanut sauce, man. I don't know what you're going to do. Dabo is done. Like I think for him, it started with his recruiting style, and when he wanted recruits to
cancel
not take visits, cancel all their visits after they commit to him, and all that. Had too many demands on his recruits.
He's a controlling girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. It turned a lot of recruits off, and his just unwillingness to use the transfer portal, man. It's like why would you there? Yeah, and it's a whole different ball game, man. You can't expect to get the same results doing the same things, man. It's a whole new ball game now.
Yeah, bringing Garrett Riley in really hasn't really improved the offense all that much either.
Man, don't be surprised if he gets poached away after this season.
Or if he actually takes over the spot for Dabo.
Maybe. Who knows? Man? I think Dabo will.
Coach.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
Jones.
What's up?
B. Jones and Gunner. I'm gonna give you the top 10 teams per conference, and let me know if you guys change your rankings off of this. But we got number 1 from the SEC, Georgia. 2, Michigan, Big 10. 3, Big 12. Texas from the Big 12. 4, it's going to be the ACC. And 5 is going to be Pac-12, USC. 6 is going to be Ohio State, Big 10. Number 7, Penn State, Big 10. Number 8, Washington, Pac-12. Number 9, Notre Dame, Independent. And then 10, Oregon.
So I get what you're saying.
There's only one SEC
So hold
team in the
on.
top
So I
10.
get the top 10, but it's top heavy. From an overall standpoint, I think SEC still beats a Rutgers, still beats a Maryland,
Exactly.
still beats a
We're
Northwestern,
talking about pound for pound, top to bottom.
still beats
But I mean, that's how the SEC
correct.
has
That's
been,
top
though.
heavy. We're talking overall conference, right? So
Yeah.
I still think SEC can still beat Big Ten if we're talking conference to conference.
Yeah. Okay. So if we take the lower half of each conference, right, and they played in the tournament, I think the SEC will have more victories than the Big Ten.
So you have so you put Purdue versus say
Mississippi State,
nah,
Arkansas.
I think
I mean,
Purdue
both those
would
teams
win
are
that
beating
one.
them.
Arkansas, I think, would win that one, but then when it comes to like, let's see who else. Like, let me take a look at.
What about Iowa?
Reaching, man.
Iowa's-
Reaching there.
Iowa.
They came and scored the points that the OC's got in his contract. I mean,
Yeah.
like Vanderbilt?
That is crazy to
Vanderbilt,
even have that
Kentucky.
clause.
And it depends. Are we talking? Are they going to travel the Big
Missouri.
Ten? Or are we going to stay at the SEC like they always do?
let's do neutral. I'm looking at this from a neutral standpoint, but yeah, I mean, I think the lower half of SEC beats the lower half of the Big Ten.
All I'm saying, there's going to be a total like if. We
Oh
go
man,
off
I
the
get
Big
you. I
Ten-
even have 3 Big Tens in my top 10 that we're gonna go over. But from an overall standpoint, SEC is better than Big Ten right now. I think.
I guess like Nebraska, Northwestern. Wait, Nebraska actually won a game? No,
Last week, yeah, or yesterday. Sorry. Yesterday.
What you guys think out there, man? Drop your fives in the conference.
It's close, but yeah.
But one thing we do know, number one is not debatable. So
yeah,
that's all that matters.
Yep.
So moving on, we're gonna move on to the fourth quarter, which is new top 10 teams. All I know is I'm very pleased who's not in the top 10 finally. You know, they finally got it right. We'll see how long that lasts. But what you got, Guns?
Yeah, so my personal top 10. So I have USC, I have FSU, I have Texas, I have Washington, I have Georgia, I have Michigan, I have Notre Dame, I have Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon.
Well,
That's my
repeat
top
that again,
10.
please.
I mean, I already made the comment. I have 3 Big Tens, yes. So it's USC, Florida State, Texas, Washington, Georgia, Michigan, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon.
Is that in order? Is
Correct. In order. Yep. In order.
You think
You
Florida
put
State?
Georgia at 5.
From the
Yeah.
3 games, yeah, I still think Florida
Really?
State is a better team than those teams that I expressed.
So you would pick Texas to beat Georgia.
Correct.
Florida State to beat Georgia, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Interesting.
I agree with that.
I mean, they barely beat a South Carolina team that lost to North Carolina that took Appalachian State team in double overtime. I mean, the pressure's not there. The offense is not there. I mean, sounds like we're getting a little love to SEC all of a sudden, but between these guys on the bottom, but yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I
brother.
mean,
Come on,
as
Bijan.
it stands right
you guys,
now.
you guys made it a deal about Bama being top 10.
I mean,
You guys give them
Texas
all
went
the-
Texas went into Bama on road and beat, one of the top teams. So I mean, I could see them going into Georgia and doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia don't look too much better than Bama, man. If you want to be real about it, like
Frankie respects
just
your.
Yeah,
He respects you.
He said,
Old.
man.
I gotta see more. I mean, when you're favored by 27 points to a South Carolina team and you only win by 10 points, you got to get knocked for that.
Exactly.
And then you don't even cover against these no-name teams the previous weeks. It's like,
I mean, to be fair, we didn't cover versus San Jose State.
Correct.
But why? Though?
By
We have
2 points. By
plenty
2
reasons
points.
of why we
right?
didn't cover. We have a million
If we
reasons
would
as
have
to
kept
why.
Caleb Williams in there, we would have covered.
So we would have
Yeah, we
beyond.
would
Yeah,
have covered.
we would have
I
covered
get
for the
that,
next game
but-
too.
I mean, I
Has
agree
Georgia-
with you
has
guys.
Georgia
I
had
don't,
to
I don't
put
see
it there?
Georgia getting to the championship game. So let me
Georgia
just be
hasn't
clear
been
with
putting in their third or second string really until like maybe the fourth quarter. We are doing that in the third quarter. We
Yeah.
probably could have done it in the second quarter if we wanted to, but okay.
So,
I,
all right.
I think
Yeah,
Guns
my
may
Big
have
Ten.
influenced my list a little bit here now. Might have to change some things up, but I'm going to put USC at number one. I know everyone, whoever is not a USC fan, is still going to harp on our defense not being like top like 2 in the nation. Like, oh my God, you guys are not even top 2 in the nation. You guys shouldn't be number 1. Get the hell out of here. But I'll give it to USC, Florida State, even though they barely beat Boston College. But I still believe in what's it called? Travis. What's his name? Travis.
Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis. There you go. I still believe in him. I'll put Michigan at 3. Texas barely pulled away into the fourth quarter against Wyoming. Maybe Wyoming's actually good. So Wyoming's been putting up a good fight against a lot of people.
Hey, that's actually a conversation that needs to be had, man.
Yeah,
At this
Wyoming is putting up a good fight. So,
Yeah.
and then let's see, where was I at? So I have USC, Michigan, Florida State. I'll put Georgia. No,
Don't let it stress you out. man.
this is all Guns' fault for this one because now my top 10 was pretty solid at one point, but now I'm going to put Texas there, then Georgia at 5. No. Washington above Georgia, and then Georgia at 6. Penn State over Ohio State.
Hey, get it together over there, man.
I'm just crumbling at this point because now my mind has just changed completely.
Gotta
So
mess your whole head up, man.
he did. He got in my head. He's then I'll put Ohio State, then Notre Dame, and then Oregon. But I'm really glad that Alabama is continuing to drop, even though they're winning.
Yeah,
I blame everything that just happened on Gunner right now. So
they're getting those Clay Helton wins, man. Those wins that feel like losses. Yeah, I mean, serious, man. Go ahead, Raul.
I got USC at 1. I'll put Michigan at 2. And the reason I feel like personally, the reason they don't score, they're a running team. So
That's fair.
Keeps running. So I'll give it a. And then at 3, I'll put Texas. 4, I'll put Georgia. I'll put Florida State at 5. I mean, they didn't look great this last game. They nearly lost. I know Georgia. You guys are talking crap about Georgia, which I know I agree on some of these things, but ultimately they're still the champion. They've been there, done that in the past. So
they have.
They still got a great coach that can get them in a straight line. They got the athletes to do it. So I think it's just a matter of them getting focused, and I think they'll potentially turn things around with I mean, they have a weak schedule, so I personally don't see them making the championship game, but I think I'll still put them at 4 for now. 5, I got Florida State, and then I'll put Washington at 6, Penn State at 7, Ohio State 8. You know what? Notre Dame 8, Ohio State 9, and then I'll put Oregon at 10.
Okay. Well, you're 8-9. We'll face off this upcoming week, man. So that should be
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
and that should tell you who I think
Yep.
is probably going to end up winning. That's probably
Right,
that's
same with me. Right.
So I got USC at 1. I'm gonna say Washington at 2, man. Yep, double up on the Pac-12, man. We just doing that much better, man. I'm gonna go with Washington at 2. I'm gonna go with. All right, so I want to give Georgia the benefit of the doubt because they are the champion, right?
Get it together.
Chance, right? Yes, yes. But here's the thing, man. What you do last year has nothing to do with the following year. And right now, they did not look like a championship team. You heard all offseason how they just had troubles off the field. And I don't even know if Kirby really has it together over there, man. And if he did, I don't know if we would have Bear. You know what I'm saying? I think there's some issues over there that they need. It might be affecting them on the field, or they just ain't got it over there. Yeah, they got some culture issues over there. They're definitely not. I don't have them making a championship because, I see there's some locker room things they need to work out, or not even locker room, off the field, just being human beings, man. Like they're in the headlines, or they're not in the headlines. Actually, you see it get swept under the rug. But if you dig a little deeper, man, hey, Frankie, believe it though. Washington looks pretty good, man. But moving on from that, I'll put Texas 4, FSU 5, 6. I'll go Ohio State, 7. Go Penn State. Let's see, 9. I'll go. I'll go. I'll take Notre Dame at 9 for now. Notre Dame at 9, and I'll go Oregon 10.
See, we may have to look at Texas a little bit differently after that Alabama game. Alabama's winning against Alabama, it may not be the best win at this point.
It's the best one they've had this far.
It is, but it's not saying much.
It ain't. And their conference schedule is not going to be any better, as far as strength.
It's bad when Milroe is legit your best quarterback.
Yeah, hey.
Wait,
issues over there.
Is Frankie being bold over here with Bama with 3 losses this year? Could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It should.
Oh, yeah.
It should, at least.
Yeah.
It definitely should.
He doesn't think they're a top 5 team.
Texas is in top 5. I gotta see another game. Give me one more game, and I can give you a fair assessment on Texas.
We'll change next week, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
OU and Texas is going to be a shootout.
Yeah, hopefully it is really.
Yeah.
I would rather see Texas beat OU though.
Well, of course.
Yeah, me too.
Of course, we got way more respect for the Texas program than we do.
I don't like either one of them. So
yeah.
Neither do I, but
listen,
Oklahoma fans have been pretty annoying lately. So
I have nothing against Texas, man.
I can't say I don't like Oklahoma and their team. I just don't like the fans.
I mean, that's
right.
I'm fine with the players and all that stuff. They ain't talking smack. It's the fans that just bother me.
So do you say the same for Oregon as well?
Yeah,
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hate their fans.
I guess I don't like their head coach either. But yeah. Their fans are just so, like, I don't know what's worse, Dallas Cowboy fans or Oregon fans.
Oregon, man. I mean, Cowboys have actually won championships.
Yeah, at least they won
past.
something. It's been a while, but yeah, at least they have actually won something.
Yeah, my buddy's a Dallas fan, so he's insufferable. So
yeah, we all have some of those.
That's just because you don't have Oregon fan, a friend that's an Oregon fan.
Yeah, I got a couple.
That is true. I don't think I have any of those people in my life. I don't need that toxicity in my life.
We're talking about a team who gets excited over the new uniform combinations. Like that's a real
It's just like
man, about playing dress up, man. That's
you know how I see Oregon. It's kind of like the Clippers. They think they have a chance. They think they have a good team.
Okay, all right, bro.
Don't tell me, you're a Clipper fan.
Wait, are you
Listen.
a Clippers fan?
Listen, man, I grew up a Laker fan. I'm not gonna front. I'm gonna keep it
Okay.
real with y'all, right? But I want to see the Clippers get one, just because they're in the city, man. So, yeah, I mean, I'm loyal to the soil. Yeah, I mean, hey, I was poor growing up. I couldn't afford Laker games, man. We went to Clipper games to see the other teams. So,
Did you see the comment? Did you see the comment here?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%, man.
That's good. That's real good.
Yeah, man. So, Frankie had a question at the beginning of the chat of the episode.
Let me go back to that here. Oh wait, it's not that one. I don't think it was Frankie. I think it was
Yeah, there's Tyler. I think a couple maybe.
We said we're gonna get back
I think
to
it was
it.
Tyler about.
Just want to make sure we do that.
I'll find it here in a second.
Okay.
Was it the most impressive one?
It
You
could
should find out,
be.
fellas. What do you think?
It was something about.
That was
the
from
conferences,
Tyler.
I think.
Was it this one?
That was from Tyler here.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys? Who do you think has been the most impressive outside of USC?
Oh yeah, for me, that's been Washington, man.
Washington, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I have him up as my number 2.
Florida State's still pretty impressive,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think if Washington and FSU play, I'm going with Washington.
You guys think we can see 2 Pac-12 teams make the college football playoffs?
Right
Yeah.
now, yes.
yeah, easily. Like if we
Yeah.
go undefeated and Washington is a 1-loss team, and
Even vice
okay,
versa.
wait. Now, if we lose to Washington and then we beat Washington in the Pac-12 championship, I can see it. Because I don't think if we beat Washington twice in the regular season and in the Pac-12 championship, I don't think
You don't think they get in?
I don't think they get it. I don't think a
Yes.
2-loss team gets in.
And guys, I dislike UCLA as much as you guys do, but I was looking at their schedule. They have a pretty good chance of going undefeated until they play us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their schedule is definitely on their side.
They just got to win this upcoming game, really, I
I think
think.
their toughest
Yeah.
one, I think, is Utah being one,
Yeah.
and then I think they have one more, but
And they get
they
a
have a pretty weak schedule, in my opinion.
a limping Utah team
At Oregon State as well. So they got Utah, Washington State,
that's
Oregon
a game.
State back to back to back. That's crazy.
Who
But
does?
where do they play the
UCLA.
other UCLA? See,
Yeah,
they
so
play
UCLA
Washington State
Yeah.
here.
Exactly.
LA,
In
so-
LA, yep. And then Oregon State's in Oregon.
So it's going to be that Oregon State probably going to be the deciding factor. I can see UCLA beating Utah next week, even though they're at Utah.
Yeah, 12:30 game, Fox. That's going to be great to watch.
Right.
But, I mean, like you guys mentioned, I think we could see 2 Pac-12 teams in the championship game, in my opinion. So your bold statement, B. Jones, I don't think is that crazy.
Yeah, I just think it was that bold, man. I'm just telling
It's
what I'm
less
seeing.
bold.
I wasn't making a bold statement. That wasn't my intention, man. I was just calling it how I see it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really think Washington is they're the second most impressive team to me outside of us, and that could be even an argument if you look at our schedules. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I have my USC bias though, so
Yeah, I
they
like
put
it.
them over.
I'll give some flowers to Shador in that last game against CSU. That 98-yard drive, that was a good drive. Like he took the ball into his own hands. He called his number a few times, rushing it for the first down, and he had some nasty hits on him. That one to the chin. That was in overtime, I think, and then I think he was bleeding from the chin or something, but he definitely took some punishment, and he kept getting up and drove him down that field. So hats off to him, and it's definitely going to be a great game against CU and Oregon, which we'll talk about that here in a second with our overtime.
Yep. Bro, you got anything?
No,
Before we jump into that?
Overtime's fine.
All right,
It's
let's
about
get into it.
that.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. All right, we're now in OT, man. We have a question for you guys, Trojan fan. Who will we be going for this weekend? Outside of our game, what game are you going to be watching? Most likely it'll be Oregon, Colorado, right? We want to know, man, who you guys going to be pulling for. We're going to give you our thoughts on that right now. So go ahead and take it away, Guns.
Man, who am I pulling for? I'm gonna be honest. I'm pulling for Oregon. I can't stand this Dion stuff and this Colorado stuff, man.
Hey, I'm
Like
not
I get it. Like I get the praise, but it's just when you all of a sudden just upgrade the expectations to, hey, we're winning the Pac-12, and oh yeah, we're beating USC, and yeah, it's just we need to just relax. You guys are 1-11. This is great. You guys have doubled your wins. You might you tripled so far. This is a great story, but let's just relax. So yeah, I gotta pull forward in here.
Really quick before I give my 2 cents, Frankie says the press won't allow 2 Pac-12 in the playoffs, even if it's deserved. I think it's against the rules.
it feels that way, Frankie, man. But
Yeah,
if there's ever a year that it'll happen, man, it will have to be this year. Well, obviously, because they want us this next year. But
being that it's going to dissolve this year, after this year, so
yeah.
So for me, I have to agree with Gunner. Like, I've been so vocal about it in our chats and everything. It's just the hype train. Like, I love Dion. Dion is the GOAT, especially the greatest of all time when it comes to DBs. Like, there's no one that's like him, especially in a whole bunch of different sports too, playing baseball and everything. So, like, I love the hype that, like, it was great coming in when he got hired. It's like, okay, this is going to be great for, like, everything that he's doing is great for college football, but don't force it down our throats. Don't sugarcoat their defense saying or whatever. Like, their defense is not that good. Like Travis Hunter is he's great. He definitely is going to be a first round pick when it comes to for him to get drafted. And Shiloh, he had a good game, but other than that, I think they can be exposed. Like, their defensive line, like, sure, they held up a little bit on the rush better than they had in the past, but I don't think they were really looking to run the ball all that much, at least until the closing of the fourth quarter. But I'm just tired of it. They're forcing it down my throat, and it's just bothering me. And it's just, as much as I hate OU or Oregon and their fans, I need CU to be humbled. I need the media to be humbled. I need them to stop forcing it down our throats. I kind of want a 2-touchdown loss for them. Like, I want Oregon to actually maybe run up the score if they can. If they can run up the score, do it.
They are favored by 20. 20 and a half is the line.
I want to see who's their coach?
Keep in mind, it's at Austin as well.
Huh? Who's the coach for Oregon?
Lanning.
I want them to have Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh 2.0. Like, what's your problem? But I want Dion to get it to his face.
Dion's on one wheel, man. He can't do nothing.
Well, Pete Carroll's in his 70s. So.
Good for it.
I'm tired of the hype. Like, just cool it down. Like, if you guys were talking about it less, I'd be fine with it.
Right. Bro.
You guys probably know who I'm going for at this point.
Gotta hear it, man. Let me hear.
I hate them that much.
I fucking dislike these people so much, bro. Like, and then I don't have anything against them personally. I'm just saying, just sports wise, like, they're so annoying. Like, I can deal with 1 week of the Colorado hype.
It's not just 1 week though. It's been like
I said I could deal with 1 more week.
Okay.
Because by the time we face them, they're gonna have all this big hype, and it would be great for USC to be the ones that humble them, not Oregon. I'm rooting for Colorado, guys. I mean, I could deal with one more week. At this point, being that I think Gunnar, you mentioned it earlier that it was reported that Travis Hunter is going to be out for a couple weeks minimum. So that's unfortunate. So they're not going to be at full strength. Obviously, they're lacking a lot of depth. So it's probably going to be really tough for them to pull off the victory out there. But that's not going to change now. I'm still going to be rooting for Colorado. I dislike Oregon. Their fans, they talk so much crap. This whole recruiting battles. Obviously, we had Clay Helton. So obviously, you guys took a few of our recruits out here. And Lincoln Riley's doing his best to try to, change the narrative here in California when it comes to recruiting. But, we're not just focusing in California. We're nationwide. And, I just want to see Oregon lose and see their fans having a meltdown, losing to Colorado. I think it'll be great. And then when we do face them, if they only have one loss, it'll be great for us to give them that second loss.
Absolutely. Okay. Do me a favor, everybody out there, right? Everybody in the live chat, scroll down real quick. What do you see? Oh, yeah, it's probably Dion, right? You probably see Dion or Shadur or somebody. Okay, now pick up your phone. Go to your favorite social media app. Who do you see? Probably Dion, huh? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it just like everybody else is, man. But with that being said, I want to be the ones to crack their heads, man. I don't listen, especially all right, as much as I can't even say I dislike Prime. I love Prime. And I love everything he's doing over there. And it's this hate that he's getting, it's not even really his fault, man. It's the media more than anybody else. You know what I mean? Because they're just shoving it down our throats, like Blackie said. But I can't stand Oregon even with all that being said. I cannot stand Oregon fans. They're ridiculous. And Dan Lanning is the worst. Like, come on, man. Beating up on Portland State the way they did, and they had no business even playing then. You know what I mean? It's just classless. That was a classless to run the score up to 81, keeping your starters in that long. That was ridiculous. 2, don't forget about his comments that he made about Colorado. I'm sure Dion's going to say it's personal. Get his team all riled up. You know what I mean? So even though I want to be the ones to crack Colorado's heads, because think, man, can you guys just imagine if Colorado beats Oregon, what we would have to hear? And what I am not opening my phone that whole week that we play if that happens.
So you want CU to win, though?
Huh?
Why would you want that to happen to us, to be able to not be able to scroll without seeing CU?
That's fine. It's only 1 week. It's only 1 week.
Exactly. It'll be 1 week. And then we get to crack their heads.
It hasn't just been 1 week, though. It's been 4 months.
But we could deal with another week until we humble them. Yeah. Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
It's just it's like Oregon. I'll give you a different example, B Jones.
What's up?
They're like Padre fans with the Dodgers.
Oh man! Oh yes, dude! Such a perfect example.
Listen, man, I was stationed in San Diego. I know all about that.
Oh, trust me. They have all stars or whatnot. They want to make it seem like they have this great team and whatnot, but they somehow end up messing up, and that's Oregon. But they talk so much crap, like if they've done something.
You would think they were the one with 11 national championships, man. The way they talk.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And then they want to talk so much shit about USC not being great, but I think the one time they made it to the college football playoffs was in 2014. That's been fucking 9 years ago, guys. You guys talk. It's like you guys talk about that like if it was yesterday.
No, but we're the ones who always bring up the past. What are you talking about?
Exactly right. So I'm just tired of Oregon fans, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm ready.
All you Oregon fans, co-workers, I don't care.
11.
I dislike you when it comes to Oregon football. You guys are annoying.
So, tee off of. I'm sorry. Can someone? I need someone to say.
Yeah, can you spell that phonetically for us, man, in the live chat? Yeah, spell it out, man.
He says, "I enjoy talking about Colorado as much as I enjoy reminiscing about the Helton years." So
Facts, man. It's ridiculous at this point. I mean, and it's sad because it makes you want to hate them, but you have to respect. You love Prime. You grew up loving Prime. You know what I mean? You love everything he's doing. You have to respect him as a father, as a coach. He's getting those people going over there, right? He's building something that we have never even seen before. If we're being honest, if you take the media aspect out of it and how they're just trying to shove it down our throats, and you just zero in,
that's what I want to stop.
That's dope. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's. But right, that's what I'm saying. But it's like, man, when the media is hyping them up so much, it's like, what are y'all doing, man?
They're acting like they've won the national championship already, or they're the number one team in the nation. Like,
exactly.
Like, all they talk about is their offense. They don't talk about their defense.
They never talk about how these bad teams are putting up big numbers on them.
I feel like this is
they
the
find themselves in
twilight
shootouts
zone.
every week.
Like, last year we were the worst team in the Pac-12 basically, and on whatever, or not the worst, but one of the worst. Or 2 years ago we were,
okay,
and then we were winning, but no one was talking about us until they wanted to talk about us when we played Utah, and then when we lost to Utah, they were just all like just bad mouthing us, but we still had a great season. But then all they can talk about is our defense. That's all they talked about all year.
Yep.
Even though we had one of the top offenses in the nation, and we have the future Heisman Trophy winner, but now with CU, they are basically in the same position that we are in, but it's the complete opposite. It's a complete opposite narrative, and that's what bothers me the most. Is that we went through this the same way last year, but no one was talking about us. But first game of the year, it's all about CU. And that's what bothers me the most at this point. Tafaf.
Okay.
All
right, we got it. Thank you for clearing that up for us, man.
Right. But no, if it wasn't for the media, this wouldn't be that bad. And that's why I want them to lose. I want them to be like, pump the brakes on CU. Like, sure, if we beat them, the hype is going to go away. But, like, if a lower team like Oregon, because they're not on our level, let's just prove – we know that. They're not on our level. But I don't think they're going to be on CU's level either. Or, I mean, Oregon's level either. So I want them to be like, okay, they lost to Oregon. They're probably going to lose to USC as well. I want us to keep burying them. The further they lose more to like, do they play Washington this year? I don't know. But I want to be the one to actually bury them. Like, the hype may die down a little bit with a loss to Oregon, but I want to bury the narrative of Washington. Like, I want them to be like, okay, we were misled. Look at Nebraska. Look at TCU. They weren't the greatest team. CSU, not the greatest team ever, but they were still hyping them up. I want to bury them, put the headstone on there. Here lies Oregon. CU's hype train.
See,
so you just fed up.
You see exactly what you just said, but I want that to be Oregon. In Oregon.
We'll do that to Oregon later on. We'll do that to them later on
listen,
too.
If you leave it to me and ask me to choose between Bo Nix and Shedeur, you already know where I'm going.
I love Shedeur. Like, Shedeur, he's a baller. He is.
Exactly.
But I don't hate CU at all. Like, I used to go to CU games all the time. It's just the media that's pissing me off.
Okay, so for Colorado, right? It's the media that pisses you off.
Yeah.
But Oregon, it's the fans.
True fans.
Yeah.
It's the actual fans.
Listen.
Yeah, but see, I don't deal with Oregon fans on a daily basis.
What?
Okay.
You're in our app. Like,
I am. But I don't go.
Have you been in our community? Okay. All right.
Okay, so I don't go. Okay. Ever since I've been in the chat, I hardly go into the actual community at all.
Okay.
Because I know there's going to be some stupid hot takes on there.
Well, yeah. Shout, man.
Hey, Dion is turning things around. He said that it looked like the old Pete days. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but
every now and then Dion will say something that makes a little bit of sense.
But see, yeah,
I'll give him that.
I don't
I know I
follow
just lit him up like a couple of weeks ago. But I'll give him that one. Every now and then he'll say something.
No, I blame the media for my hatred of this of Deion's hype train.
Yeah, I'm trying my best not to. You know what I mean? Because I know it's like, okay, that's just the media doing what media does, blowing stuff up, making stories, and it's a great story. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? That Deion's turning the team around, but I just hate that it's even become like a racial thing. You guys seeing that? Somebody even posted in the community or something like, "You're not black if you're not going for Colorado." or something. I'm like, man, what?
Yeah,
it
disgusts me with that.
Yeah. It's getting ridiculous. Like it's really getting out of hand.
But
at the same time, I'd rather see Oregon lose.
The thing that also bothers me is all the stars. Like Lil Wayne was singing them out. D Wade flew out mid-game to go see the game. He was watching it on his phone.
Listen, the coach is a celebrity himself.
I know he is.
He has a huge Rolodex, man. So he's gonna pull out all the stops. He's got to recruit. You know what I mean? So he's doing the Pete Carroll thing.
And Blackie Chan, don't you want us to be the guys that pretty much stop that hype train?
But we are. No, regardless of what's going to happen, if they lose to Oregon, they're still gonna what is it called? They're going to give excuses to CU. They're still going to give excuses.
Okay, so you want Oregon to kill them, but you want us to put them in the dirt.
Yeah, like I said, put the headstone on there. Here lies CU's hype train.
So what do you think is going to be the spread when we face them?
I think we'll beat them by at least 2, maybe 17 points.
Oregon has them at 20 and a half, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, if Oregon puts up 20 and a half on them, we're putting up 28 to 35 on them.
Easy.
Yeah, especially with no Travis Hunter. Not that it would make a difference
no Travis Hunter, our defensive line is like, it's great. It's borderline great at this point. Like, if Bear Alexander can do this, I have no thoughts that he won't be able to do that against CU, because if Kamara can do that against them, Keon Bars, Bear, Lucas, who else? Jamil.
Yep.
That's scary. Like, Shador should be afraid.
Don't forget Solo, man. Solomon Bird.
Rajon Davis too.
Our front seven is gonna just do a number on those.
The only thing that we got to watch out is for Xavier Weaver and Jamie Horn, and maybe their tight end.
And you even got to watch out for Gentry, guys. I know Gentry's plenty, but he's got to watch out for Gentry as well.
Exactly. Having him in coverage, Shador's gonna have to try to throw over him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Davis is going right at him.
Yep. Well, he's got Bear and Muhammad in his face.
I will say this though, Deion is good for college football. He is great for college football.
Absolutely.
I just don't think the media is good for college football.
Yeah, so look, that's what I'm saying, man. Just let it happen organically, man. They're trying to put W's in his win column before they even, man. Like, listen, I don't know if you guys seen that clip of Shady McCoy. I don't know if I put it in the chat or not, but him talking about
he's already going to beat us. That's what I'm saying.
Shady said that.
Shady.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta say,
that's why I lost.
Trust me, I will make a whole post on it and post it on it, maybe as a short. Who knows? But after that game, after I'm with the final score, how we beat them down. After that,
it just bothers me that like all these stars are acting like they've been CU fans their whole life.
Yeah.
Like, no, you have not. Where have you been this whole time? The only one that's a CU fan is probably Chauncey Billups.
Well, of course.
So, like, it just bothered me. Like,
and Joe Clark.
I've been a CU fan a lot of my life. So, where were they?
I'm gonna say this, Travis Hunter. Now that you're in a Bleacher Report, if you do scroll to the USC community, you see this podcast. Make sure you tell Shador and Prime to kick Oregon's ass. Make it personal.
Travis, if you see this podcast, you are a dog. You are going to be a first-round draft pick, and you have every right to talk this talk that you talk, because you're balling. and that hit that was on you, that was uncalled for. What are you laughing at over there, Connor?
Oh, nothing.
As far as that hit, man, honestly, I don't know if it was that bad. It was late. Don't get me wrong. It was late. But it was like a split second late. Like, I don't know. I got to watch the film again. I got to watch that one again. I was kind of like, man, was it really that bad?
It was right in the chest area, the rib area. So it was a hard hit for sure.
Oh, yeah, he definitely put it on him.
It wasn't targeted
He
at all, but
no.
it was like I'm pretty sure Travis Hunter took a few steps before and he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, this ain't the worst I've seen that really. I'm okay with the no call, is what I'm saying.
He tried doing the Florida, Oklahoma.
I've seen worse, man. Like, it wasn't that late if you look at it.
Hey, what if it was one of our guys and he's out for the year?
See, that's what I'm saying. I said take the injury aspect out of it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, of course you're gonna feel some type of way because he's injured. You know what I mean?
This one of our guys jumps.
Yeah,
I still think it's dirty regardless of
Colorado.
Just look at it again and tell me what you think.
Oh, I will. I'll try to edit it. And I'll put a timer on how long.
How late is it? Yeah, let's see.
We also got a message from Mr. Son of Midday himself. He's unorthodox and he has something that is working until it isn't. SECPN. This is on their last leg, so they're following our the narrative. Fair enough. Yeah. No, like the story about CU is great. Like, it's just I don't need to see it all the time from every sports media that I follow. I don't need to see it everywhere I go. Like, there's other teams besides CU.
Yep.
Brandon, I think you're frozen on.
I'm definitely frozen, man. I don't know what's going on. but with there we go. We're back. All right. But I mean, we're almost approaching 2 hours here, fellas. So I think it's time to wrap it up. We got to save something for Thursday, man. So guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you get that notification because we will be back on Thursday to give you our preview of the Arizona State games, and we'll talk about the Pac-12 slate once again, and with this Oregon and Colorado matchup coming up, along with other games, man. And make sure you mark your calendars as well for when we do take on Colorado CU. We will have a special guest that day for our preview show.
And for that game, I'll probably have some footage from that game. I'll be fifth row on the Trojan side, so I'm going to have some good footage, hopefully.
That's right. So before you guys get out of here, like, share, subscribe, and fight on.
Fight on, fellas.